Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudi and thank you so much for being here. Today we are continuing my declutter series and going over bronzers, blushes, and highlighters, and this one is a doozy, you guys. Those are some of, if not my favorite products outside of sheer lipsticks, and so we got rid of about 10 to 15 products, and I'm very proud of myself. In an effort to follow my New Year's resolution and to be more intentional about my skincare buying and what I use, this was very necessary. If you like declutters, please let me know and I will continue on this series. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe. We talk about more than just decluttering on this channel. We talk about skincare, makeup, mental health, vlogging. We do it all, and I would love to have you join. All right, starting out with bronzers. Honestly, this should be the fastest and easiest one. And also, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for my nails. They look really bad. If you guys just saw my vlog that I just posted earlier last week, I was talking about this nail polish. I don't know. I kind of think what I was going with before is better. Anyways, bronzer is probably my favorite step, so I'm kind of shocked to see that I only have this many. And I think it's gonna go by quickly because I can already kind of see what I wanna keep and what I don't. So first off, the Revlon Skin Lights. This is a beautiful bronzer. I have really enjoyed this. It is a great dupe, in my opinion, for the Too Faced Sweetheart bronzer, which I'm glad to have because, as I mentioned, I'm really trying to work towards supporting brands that align with my values, and I don't really think that Too Faced does. So happy to be able to recommend this one. Definitely want to keep it. It's so beautiful too. It definitely gives me like Anastasia vibes, you know, like from the Amrezy palette. What do you guys think? Okay, definitely keeping. It's so nice and it's never broken me out or anything like that. Another drugstore bronzer that I think it's gonna have to be time to let go of. This is the NYC bronzer, the Smooth Skin Bronzer in Sunny. And I just talked about this in a video with my best friend Andy going over discontinued makeup. And I think that's good enough reason for me to go ahead and get rid of this. It is so warm. It's a nice matte bronzer. But one, they don't make it anymore, so I can't recommend this to you guys. And two, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and say it's expired. I know powder products basically last forever. It says 30 months as the expiration here, but I just can't. I don't think I can keep it anymore. I don't really use it very much. I'm more of like a, sheen bronzer type of gal, so I am gonna go ahead and get rid of this, but it did me well for a really long time. A new bronzer addition to my family. Look how pretty this packaging is. This is the Kosas bronzer and I have it in the shade medium. I just talked about this in my Kosas brand review video, which I can link up above. I am absolutely loving this bronzer. This is the bronzer that I'm wearing today, if you saw in the intro video. It's just really, really nice. It's a beige consistency, but it also comes off a little bit, natural, creamy. It doesn't have any glitter in it. It doesn't have any noticeable shimmer. It's more of just a sheen, and I just am loving this brand a lot. So definitely will be keeping this one, and I'm looking forward to using it a lot more this year. So let's talk about these three minis here, and to be honest with you, I'm probably gonna keep all three, but we'll see. This is a mini of the NARS Laguna. I think I got this as a birthday present in Sephora's, birthday end of year thingy, and it's just a great bronzer, to be honest. It's a classic. The shade is right in between a cool and a warm, which I think is very unique for a bronzer. This is so little, but it also has a mirror, and honestly, I never am gonna go through this much bronzer anyways. So I'm definitely keeping it. I love to travel with this. It's so little, it doesn't take up a lot of space in my drawer, and I love to use this. So I will be keeping my little Laguna. I also will be keeping my miniature Hourglass bronzer. This is in the shade Luminous Bronze Light. This is a stunning, stunning bronzer, and if you can get this in the mini, I highly recommend it. You guys know how I am about minis. I would recommend a mini over a full size any day, and it's just a beautiful shade. It really has like such a nice consistency. You know how Hourglass bronzers are. It's very light, so you can be really heavy-handed with this without any problem. I love to travel with it. It's beautiful for my skin in the winter. It's just these, Hourglass knows what they're doing. If you're looking for something that's a little bit luxurious in terms of a powder, I recommend trying out the mini and seeing, what you think about it. I love this bronzer, definitely keeping. Now this one is one that I'm kind of considering giving away. This is the Benefit Hoola Bronzer, and of course we all know and love this very much, but when's the last time that I used a cool tone bronzer, a cool tone matte bronzer to contour my face? I honestly couldn't tell you. It is a great shade if that's what you're into, but I don't contour anymore. And even if I did, I don't know that I would be using a powder product. The only reason that I'm tempted to keep this is because I am probably going to do a little contouring on my wedding day, and I am doing my own makeup, but I don't think that that's reason enough to keep it. I will probably just use a different bronzer. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pass on this little Hoola. She was really sweet for a while, but I don't use her anymore. I'm so on the fence about my butter bronzer. I'm certain that you guys own this. This is the butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. I think in, terms of keeping this versus the Hoola, I would keep the butter bronzer. But even then, the butter bronzer is a little bit light for me, but it does have that more cool tone shade, which would be good for a contoured look for the wedding. God, it smells so strong. I honestly don't pull for this very often, but I would like to have a cool tone bronzer in my collection. I got rid of the little brush that came with it a million years ago, but I'm gonna keep it for now because I do wanna have something available to me on that wedding day, and I think that this will be a good in-between. It's also good to have something that you can constantly compare to a drugstore product, so I'm gonna keep this. Something that I will absolutely be getting rid of is the Soul Bronzer, the Soul Body Balm from ColourPop / Soul Beauty. This is in the shade medium, and it is a face and body bronzing balm. So the reason that I got this, and you can see it, I have a buy or buy video about this product, is that people were saying that it was a dupe for the Sol de Janeiro bronzer that they have, which is very well loved. And it very well might be, but it is so strongly scented, so strongly pigmented, and it literally just fell apart on my face. This is just me. I have an oily complexion, and I may have gotten a shade too dark, but I couldn't stand the smell of this on my face for more than 5 minutes. It is so strong. It smells like the butter bronzer on crack. I'm not kidding. Not only am I done with this, but I think I'm gonna be adding it to my worst makeup of 2021 that I am collecting products for and will be making at the end of the year. I hated this. I think this could have been really good, but the smell and just, it's just not for me. So she's going away. Let's talk about my cream bronzers. This is an obvious yes. This is the Nudestix Terracotta Tan Cream Bronzer. This is my #1 favorite cream bronzer, and it was my favorite bronzer of the entire year of 2020. It's a really, really beautiful, warm cream bronzer. It's matte. It doesn't look super matte. It doesn't look flat. It doesn't look dry. It blends in beautifully. They also have a lighter shade called Bondi Bay. It comes with a brush on the other side. It really does blend it out quite well. So I recommend pretty much everything from Nudestix. I love their stuff. We'll definitely be keeping this in my collection. Another cream style product that I've been using, I'm not going to consider this to be a bronzer, but this is the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy Sunshine Anti-Pollution Drops, and I use these to mix in with my foundation or with my skincare or SPF if I feel like it's just not the right shade during the summer. And I just really love these. I've been keeping it with my makeup because I find that I have more use of it with my makeup than my skincare. I have an entire video on this if you want like a full in-depth breakdown of how I use it and how it looks on my skin, so I can link that up above. Definitely keeping these. They were very expensive and I do like them a lot. The Too Faced Sweet Tea Sweetheart, I can never remember what it's called, and I've had it for so long that the back is literally, you can't read it. I think, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, that I'm gonna declutter this just because I've moved on to better formulations. I do love this color. Obviously, as you guys can see, I mean, I've really gone through it. It's such a beautiful in-between, like light and a medium shade, and it's also an in-between, a cool and a warm tone bronzer. I really do love this. I've had it for a really long time though. Let's see. I think it's also a 30-month expiration, so it's got some time, but I think it might be time to just let it go. I'm gonna do a little bit of swatching and see if I can find anything similar in this collection that I'm looking at here. I think maybe the butter bronzer might be a good match for this, but I think it's time to let her go. Even better, I think the Revlon here is a pretty good match in terms of color. I think the Too Faced is a little bit more cool toned. The Butter Bronzer is even lighter, but that Revlon I think will be a good match. And lastly, we have this tiny little duo that I got from Andy for Christmas from the Charlotte Tilbury's new mini line. And this is a little mini of her Film Star Bronze and Glow, which I thought was really cool that they were coming out with minis. I haven't really gotten a chance to wear this so much, and it comes with a sculpt and with a glow color. And I'll be honest, I'm not certain that the sculpt is gonna be dark enough for me, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm wondering if I can just use this instead of, you know, my little Hoola bronzer, because I feel like they're pretty similar. And also, we all know that Charlotte's highlights are always very beautiful. So I'm gonna keep this, and I'm definitely gonna use this contouring shade probably on my wedding day. So thank you, sister. Okay, time to move on to blushes, and it's gonna be crazy. Well, can you tell what my favorite step in a makeup routine is? This is insane. I don't even know where to start, honestly. I have so much to say, but I'm gonna really try and keep it very minimal with these because there's so much here. So first of all, this is my blush book from Tarte. This is a limited edition product. I got this for my sister for Christmas a couple years ago, and I absolutely love it. I talked about this in that discontinued video. I use so many of these blushes. Honestly, looking at this, it makes me want to get rid of all of my powder blushes because why would I need anything more than this? So we'll see, but definitely keeping this. I love this so much. Which leads me to my next conundrum, which is the fact that I love an off nude type of blush situation here. These are all incredibly similar. We have the color Exposed from Tarte, which as you can see, I have used it many times. It's very well loved. It is a very neutral to warm shade, and it lasts on the skin all day. However, as mentioned from this book, I don't necessarily think that I need to, you know, have a single in my collection of something just like that. I never use this product anymore. I think that it is really beautiful, but I never use it. It's basically hard panned at this point, so I am gonna get rid of this. First blush to go. Okay, this is so much harder than I thought it was gonna be. This is NARS Madly, which was big back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember that. This was everything to everyone. I think that it is just a little bit too light for me these days. It is so beautiful, but I think if I'm gonna wear a blush like this, I'm gonna go in with Dallas, which obviously I'm keeping. Like, this is no question, I'm keeping Dallas. This is the most beautiful blush that's ever been made, so don't even think about it. Definitely keeping that. But at the same time, I don't wanna get rid of all of my powder blushes. I think it's time for this sweet little thing to go. This is the Benefit Boxed Blush in the color Gold Rush. It is a really pretty blush topper. It's too light of a shade for me to wear on its own. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this little guy. He was really sweet, and I did like him a lot when I was starting out on Tretinoin. I used this one all the time, but I'm past that, so he's going away. Looking at this, I know you see this little collection over here, which is more powder blushes. So I am going to put Madly in the maybe pile, and I'm gonna try and wear it this week and see if she's a go or a stay. So for now, you guys already know I'm keeping all three of my Milk lips and cheek sticks. These are incredible. They're called the Lip and Cheek Stick. These are the colors Quickie, Work, and Quirk, which is hilarious. I've used these all in so many different tutorials. I just love them for so many different purposes, and I love all three of these colors, so there's no way in hell I'll be getting rid of them. It was my favorite blush of 2020. Same with my Nude Sticks products. I knew that I loved this little one so much from my set that I went and bought the full size of Sunkissed. This is a beautiful coral and sunset strip, and then Sweet Peony is one of their dewy blushes, which is just a really unique formula. They all come with brushes on the end of them. They're so versatile and useful. I'm loving these. Definitely keeping. All right, where we run into some questionable choices are these Jouer blushes. I bought all three sets of these Jouer blushes. This is in the shade Adore. This is in the shade Rose Gold, which I think might be limited edition even. And this one is in the shade Cheeky Summer. So I'm definitely gonna get rid of Adore. This is just a normal pink blush. Like, I have this color in that collection. I never use this light pink one. It's literally almost white. So although this is a very nice color and their blush duos are beautiful, I just don't need this one. And with these two, I think that these little shimmery shades here are very similar. Obviously one is a little bit more actual rose gold and one is a little bit more tan. And I think I kind of go for more of this tan, you know, sun-kissed bronze kind of blush anyways, whereas I think that the powder in the rose gold is just slightly too pink for me. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this one away as well and keep this one, which is the shade Cheeky Summer. I don't wear these very often, but I think when summer comes around, I'm gonna be a lot more likely to wear a powder blush. So I'm going to keep it and we'll see how it works for me in summer of 2021. Okay, the last three. This is the Ilia multi-stick in the shade Ladybird. I really do love this. I'm wearing this today on my cheeks, my lips, and my eyes. So if you like that, that is the shade Ladybird. It's just a beautiful in-between, like pinky nude. It looks good on the lips, it looks good on the face, it looks good on the eyes. And this was expensive, so I'm definitely keeping it, and we'll maybe do a full face of Ilia in the future. So this is a good one. Look at the little ugly stepsisters of my cream blush collection. That was mean. If you just saw my Kosas video, you'll know that this was my least favorite product in their line. This is just a very messy and, to be honest, gross looking blush and highlight palette. It's a nice color and it does work once you kind of get it warmed up, but before that, it's very gross. I just don't like the format of it, but it was very expensive and I want to actually use up my cream products before they go bad, and it's a recent purchase, so I am going to keep this and continue to use it. And then of course the Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Dusk. I rarely use this. I don't know why I thought I could wear Glossier products, but I did at one point this past summer. This can kind of be used as a blush or a bronzer, and I am gonna keep it because I do like to use it on days where I'm feeling very, just kind of a one color look. And I do use it. It was expensive, and so I wanna keep it for that reason and find a way to really use it in my routine more. But I won't be purchasing any more of these. It's just, for one, Glossier as a brand, I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about them, and two, I just think this formula is not meant for people who have even combo to oily skin, but I do want to use this one up. All right, we are flying through these and we've just got highlight left, which will be very fun and very interesting. This is the prettiest assortment of products I've ever seen. Like, look how aesthetically pleasing this is. Oh, this is gonna be very difficult. Let's start off with a bang, and that's with something I'm definitely not gonna be keeping, which is unfortunate because I barely used it. This is the Benefit Box in Cookie, and yes, I bought this because of Jaclyn Hill, and woo! Y'all, this highlight is way too intense for me. It's basically silver. Like, it is so bright, and it may look good on camera, but in person it is just way too intense. This is like old school YouTube type of highlight, and even blended out, it's like pure white, which is unfortunate. I barely use this, and I'm definitely going to give it to a good home who likes that style a lot more than I do. An absolute yes, keeping forever, just talked about in that discontinued makeup, is my Amrezy Anastasia collaboration. Just the best highlighter ever, the best powder highlighter. It's so beautiful. I'll definitely be wearing this whenever we do have our wedding celebration, so I plan on keeping this forever. It is so good, and I hope that you were able to get your hands on it while it was on sale. I think one that I'm unfortunately going to have to pass the torch on is this Fenty highlighter. This is the Fenty Beauty highlighter in Kilowatt. So one side is the Lightning Dust shade and the other is the Fire Crystal. It's just too pink for me. There was a time in which I was wearing pink highlighters, and as you can see, this is very similar to the Cookie highlight. It's just far too pink for me, and I tend to go more gold these days. It doesn't look super natural on my skin just because I have more of an olive skin tone. So I did use this a lot back in the day, but I just think it's not right for the look I like to wear nowadays. One that I need to get rid of because it is truly expired is my ColourPop Lunch Money. This, I don't even know how long you're supposed to have it, but I've had it way longer. This was like my first introduction into cream highlighters. It's actually still very emollient and still looks pretty good. But again, it's way too light for me. I think it's just, I don't utilize this type of highlight anymore, this like little pot cream. It is a really beautiful color, but I never wear it. And it's unfortunate, I know, but I used to wear this when I was first trying to figure out if I liked cream products or not, and it did a great job for that. So if you are trying to kind of switch between an actual cream and a powder, try out one of the ColourPop Super Shock highlighters. They are a good transition, but I think it's time for me to let this one go. I talked about this in a fails video. This is the Ilia Liquid Light Serum Highlighter. This is one of the worst highlighters I've ever tried. It dries down so fast. Well, first of all, the pump only lets you have 1,000,000% of the product. It dries down so fast, it sticks to your skin to the point where it's unmovable. You aren't able to blend it. It's so patchy. I absolutely hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it. Like, even, look at that. Even just blending it in, look how patchy that is. Oh my gosh, I hate this. This is definitely going away. We'll talk about this another time, but no. Fail, big fail. Since we've already covered nude sticks as a brand and how much I love them, these are no exceptions. This is the highlight in the color Hey Honey, and this is the highlight in the color Bubbly BB, and this highlight is stunning. I love it so much. It's so natural, but yet so beautiful. In between a gold and a pink, it's stunning. Recommend these with my life. Definitely keeping. Another set of definitely keeping is my Charlotte Tilbury products. This was my favorite highlight of 2020, and it will probably be my favorite highlight forever. You guys know this is my Hollywood Flawless filter. I have an entire section of a 10 things I can't live without video that talks solely about this product. Absolutely love it. We'll be keeping it, as well as her Beauty Light Wand. This is in the shade Spotlight. This was new to me in 2020. It is so nice. It is a bump up from the Flawless filter, but still very natural, very blendable, looks beautiful on the skin, and I just like that I can kind of bump up my Flawless filter by adding a touch of her light wand. So definitely we'll be keeping these. Another powder product that it's time to say goodbye to is my Dandelion Twinkle. I don't mean to just be bashing Benefit here, but the box products, you know, they're just not it anymore. This is the Twinkle shade. They make this in a mini, so if you like this, I would recommend getting in the mini. I barely touched my finger, and it is literally covered. This is a very nice highlight, and I think the reason that I kind of was drawn to it because it was the first highlight that I realized, oh, this is like just kind of a sheen. It's not super pigmented, and I kind of like that look. But there are a lot of other ways that you can achieve that like barely there highlighted look without this powder. Any of the natural highlights that I've talked about so far, even, you know, this one that we'll get into that's much cheaper. This is a very nice highlight, but it's just incredibly powdery, and it takes some time to really blend it into the skin. But if you're looking for something that is super natural looking, take a look at it. It is very nice. It's got a pink tint to it, but it is a nice product. One that I'm wearing today because I wanted to test out the waters and see if I still liked it. This is my Bare Minerals Endless Glow Highlighter in the shade Free. This is a beautiful powder highlighter, and I'm not a huge fan of powder highlighters these days, but if you want a true gold, very luxe, very blendable highlight, I do recommend this. I apply it with a beauty blender or with my fingers because I feel like it helps really melt the color into your skin. This is very nice and good for acne-prone skin, so definitely will be keeping this one. It is like kind of a more gold version of my Amrezy highlighter. I think one that it is time to get rid of is my NARS duo of Hot Sand and Laguna. Again, talked about in my discontinued series. I'm thinking that most of the things I'm getting rid of, well, honey, they've been discontinued. This is the Hot Sand Powder Highlighter and the Powder Laguna Bronzer. These are so old, they barely come up with anything anymore. Like, truly barely anything comes off of them. So I know this was limited edition, but it's time to pass the torch on this palette. It's just way too old and I never use it. Hey girl. We're down to the final two, which are both going to be kept and in good luck. So this is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This highlighter is literally $2, and it is the most beautiful natural highlight you will ever wear, powder or otherwise. I think This is basically a powder version of the Hollywood Flawless Filter if you prefer to use powder products. It's so cheap. You just need to buy this. If you have mature skin, this is the perfect highlight for you. Nothing will ever compare, and she'll be kept forever. I love her so much. And then if you were looking for a dupe for the Hollywood Flawless Filter, something a little bit cheaper, you can check out the Chart. Oh my God, I cannot say Tarte Shape Tape. I can only say Chart Tape. You can check out the Chart wand here. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand. It's very similar to the Hollywood Flawless Filter, except for it's in a wand form instead of in, well, that one's in a wand form too. It's just in like a lipstick tube or like a lip gloss tube, but it has that same exact sheen. And I just like to carry this when I am traveling instead of carrying my giant Hollywood Flawless Filter. Super similar look, just kind of up to you which one you'd want to go for, but this is great for traveling, so I definitely am going to keep it. Here's everything we'll be saying goodbye to from my collection. I am pretty proud of this list. I'm gonna miss a few of these, but honestly, it's time for them to go. They've done me so well in my life, and some of them have done me very dirty. Another declutter in the books, and next I'm thinking we need to go over eyeshadow and lip stuff, and that one, honey, is gonna take a long time. But that resolution video that I made, I said I want to be able to open my drawer and use anything in it and know that it will work together. I'm happy to be getting rid of these things. Let me know if you have any questions on the products we mentioned in this video. I will be coming at you with great content in the next couple weeks. I have so many great ideas. I'm so excited, and I will see you guys in the next one really soon. Bye!